Hello. um, Welcome back, I guess, to this kind of video. I haven't made make whatever um, any video anymore since the first podcast or whatever it's called. Just because this thing here was not here and I felt very uncomfortable sitting on like a desk chair. But I moved it in yesterday and I was like, I have nothing else to do, so let's just do another one of these kind of videos. I was thinking because Valentine's Day passed, we're now the 19th of February. It was, I guess, 5 days ago, and I thought maybe this is a perfect opportunity to talk about my struggle with boys. So yeah, I thought that this was the perfect opportunity. So for everybody who celebrated Valentine's Day, fun for you. I hope you have fun with whoever you celebrated it with. I did it by myself. I just cooked a nice dinner for myself, had a glass of wine, and watched an amazing K-drama. So yeah, I wanted just to talk about my struggle with boys, men, and there's a lot to say. So I'm just gonna roll with it, and whatever comes to mind, I will just speak about it. But I don't know where to start though. Back in the day, I'm saying back in the day, but I think it's like 6 years ago when I was 16, 17. I dated a lot, like a lot, but nothing came out of it. But it was always like a lot of boys, but only like 1 or 2 dates, and then wasn't it. But it was also because I just came out. I was a year out, so I was not familiar with like the whole dating process in general. Also with girls, the same thing. So with men, it was harder, I guess, but I met a lot of people back in the day, and now I'm just at a stage of life, I guess, where I find other things important and I don't look for it anymore. But if it comes, it comes, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But when it comes, and that's the thing with me, I put all my energy in that one guy. Because when I talk to a guy, I only talk to that person and nobody else, just because I'm just not that person to like talk to a lot of boys at the same time. Sometimes it happens, and then I just have to like see where it all goes. But otherwise, I just focus on one guy, and I don't expect that from the other person to do the same thing. But it would be very lovely if he does, and if he has the same mindset as me. But that's like the first thing that mostly fucks my brain up. But it's a thing. Like, I'm not the person to say to somebody what he can and cannot do, especially on like the first few dates, or like the couple of first months we're dating. Like, it's just you do you, and I'm just there, and you can date other persons, but I'm just not that person who dates with other people at the same time. And it always comes to like a conversation about like, okay, how is this going, whatever. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but I'm just putting out scenarios that happened. But yeah, that's like the first thing. And then I'm also an overthinker. So when I just think like, oh, that person is dating somebody else or this and that, I'm just not freaking out, but I'm just overthink a lot. And then it all comes down that I think that's all on me. That's all my fault. And which I mean by that is, if you know, you know, I'm not attracted. I am attracted, but it's not like the big deal of mine in like sexual interactions. It's not that important to me. And for a lot of guys, it is. And it frustrates me because sometimes I just think people ghost me after a while just because I don't give it like immediately. I don't give everything like sexually and like physically immediately. And I think some people want that, and some people like say what they want in whatever dating, when you're dating somebody, and some people don't. And then when they're ghosting me, I'm like thinking like, why am I not that attracted to like sexual stuff? Why am I'm always saying like, why am I? But it's so normal to not have that desire of a fucking dick. Like I don't need that. I mean, I need it, but I'm not like that interested. It's not that important in my dating life. And I always say to like friends, when I touch a dick, it always goes down. It always does. Like when I do something sexually with a person, the other guy, I'm keep touching the mic. The other guy always ghosts me afterwards, and then I'm like, I'm giving you something that I'm not 100% enjoying at that moment because it's not my vibe, but I'm doing it because you like it, and then you're ghosting me. And this didn't happen like one time, two times. I can name, I'm not gonna do it, but I can name over 7 people that did that to me. And then I'm just like thinking like, what's the point of dating if you're ghosting me afterwards and I don't know what the fuck is happening? And it all started, and people know it, and I'm gonna say his name because he doesn't have social media, and I just call it like, it's fucking Yasin situation. Everything that guy did to me, it repeated itself with other persons every fucking time. And I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Is it me? I'm always putting it on me because of that. And that's not okay, I know. But I also think it's kind of the thing right now. Like I was talking to a guy, I think 4 days ago, just on Tinder, just like naturally. I was just talking about that with that guy. And out of the blue on Tinder, not even on Grindr, which I don't have. I don't have Grindr. I don't do that shit. He asked me if I was the top, bottom, or verse. And I just literally told him like, I don't know. What am I? I don't know. I don't care. It's not that important. And then he was like, oh yeah, it's also not that important to me. But bitch, why are you asking? Like, if it's not that important, why are you asking me that question? I don't know. It's very frustrating that is how life is right now. Everything needs to be like a one-night stand or just like friends with benefits. Nobody, or like a lot of people, don't want a solid relationship. And I think I'm in a place right now where I can have it and want a relationship, because all that trauma that was when I was 18, if you know, you know, if you don't, sadly enough, okay, it's like in the back of my head still, but it's still something I address to people when I'm dating. Like after a couple of dates, I'm not gonna put it out there. Sometimes it happens if it's like the conversation is happening, but otherwise I'm just gonna say what happened to me and what trauma I have to like pulse, I don't know how to say it, yeah, pulse, I don't know, that person, how I feel about some things. And sometimes I just don't listen, because afterwards I'm ending up somewhere doing things, and then I'm like, hello. And this is also a thing, but maybe I will keep that for a later part. That's also like a thingy, but people don't listen to that kind of stories. I only know like a few people that like guys dating guys, like my friends understand it completely, but like dating whatever, some people just don't understand that. Just they still want to do what they want. And I'm a person, and that's also, again, I think it's my fault, but I just go with the flow. I don't have, I mean, I say no and whatever, or I like do things to tell them, not verbally but physically, like where the boundary is. But otherwise I'm just like, yeah, okay, you do you. I don't want to say use me, but yeah, I just go with the flow, if that makes any sense to you guys. I'm so open about this, but the thing is, people know me and my friends know me and they know all the stories, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna put it on the internet, because it's not that I'm a bit embarrassed or that I need to hide something, because a lot of people know my stories, and maybe it's better to like put it in a whole video so you have like a whole vibe but it's sad. It's not sad, it's depressing. Dating life is very depressing. I don't know why, but it is. Just because also, because I said like I give my all in one person when I'm dating, and I put all my energy in that one guy. But like when they're ghosting me or it doesn't go well or whatever, my ups and downs are very high up or very down because all my energy went to that person. And that's something that is, I think, my fault that I do that, because nobody is telling you to like only date one person, or like especially in the beginning, or only talk to one person. But for me, it's just like a normal thing to do because it makes sense to just talk to one person. But also another thing, maybe this is it's not random, but maybe it's like not going smoothly in like the other things I say. I always go for like the easy dates, like the thing that I don't have to put that much effort at the beginning, and it always goes very easily, and we're just dating immediately. But that are also the dates where I am not into the guy. I'm just doing it because they want to, and I don't especially need it. But I'm just like, oh, they want to date me. Okay, I'm just going on a date and we will see, but I'm not interested. And that happened. Like the recent one was, I think, November. And that guy, I mean, yeah, he was not my type at all. Like nothing in common. He was working at a restaurant or whatever. He was also way older than me, I think. Also sexually, he was very sexually active. And he told me that, and that's where I need to put my boundary and say like, okay, maybe we're not gonna date or whatever, because this is not going to work. Because it was he did like stuff that I was like, I'm not seeing myself doing that. I mean, you know what I mean? But we just ended up dating for like one date and he was having fun and I was just listening, I guess. And I mean, I don't want to say I didn't have fun because it was a nice guy, but I was just like, in my head I was thinking, what the fuck is he doing here? Because it was here in my place, and I was just thinking, and we were watching a movie in my room, Rapunzel, I don't know why, and I was just watching the movie, and I was just like, what the fuck is this guy doing in my bed? And I'm also not the person to say like, oh, can you leave? I cannot do that. He also slept how do you say it? Sleepover. And I was just thinking, what the fuck? And that happens a lot, because afterwards he said like, oh, I want to see you again, blah blah blah. And what did I say? I say like, oh yeah, that would be fun, just because I wanna make sure he, I don't know, I just said like, okay, yeah, we can do it another time, like, oh, we can meet up another time also, blah blah blah. 2 days later he ghosted me, and I was like, okay, fine, if you ghost me, I'm not stressed at all, like I don't mind it, it was not a vibe for me, blah blah blah. A week later he sent me a message like, hi, how are you? And then I'm like, no, you're not gonna ghost me for a week and then send me a message again. So I just didn't open it. So that's like a thing, and it happens a lot that I want to please other people, so I just go on a date because I'm their type, but they're not my type, but they want to date me, so I just go with the flow, and I just go on the date. And I have that in my mind, like, okay, I'm just making friends. But for them, it's like another way of thinking. And for the people that I'm attracted to, it's difficult to date. Like, it doesn't happen, or when I date them, they're the one ghosting me, and then I'm fucking sad. Fucking sad. And it's also a thing. People always say like, oh, you have time. I'm 22 right now, and I know I'm young still, and I have time. I know that. But for me, it's more like I never felt love before by a boy. I felt love from my parents, grandparents, and friends. I'm not saying that, but from like a boy who gives his all to you or whatever, I never had that in my whole life. And that's something I think is not normal, to never felt loved by like that specific person. And that's bothering me more than saying like, oh, you're still so young, because I know I'm still young, like I know that, but that's not the point. It's more about I just want to feel loved. Especially like not like with Valentine itself, but like the whole week when it's Valentine, I'm just disgusted just by the fact how cringe it all is, but also I want it. Like I want to get flowers from somebody. I never got a flower. I got one flower. Oh my god, funny story. It was in high school. I think it was in the 4th year. And with Valentine's, you can like send roses and a paper with something you can write on. And then on Valentine's Day, the teachers hand it out to the people who got a flower. And I got one rose. And what was written on it? Oh my god. There was written, from your ass liquor to Niels. And then it was like a whole thing at school, because it was like it came out who it was, and then it was a friend of a niece of mine. And then I told my niece, and then my niece was super mad at that boy, and it was like a whole thing. And then it was gone. But that was the only rose or only flower I ever gotten or got, whatever. It was like, from your ass liquor. Anyways, this is a long video. I think it's going to be like 25 minutes. So I hope you guys like this conversation. This is like I said in the last video, I'm just putting it out there. Everything that comes to mind, I just say it. Now that I have a sofa, I will probably be making more of these. I don't know if I come up with a subject. We're gonna leave it at this. I'm gonna eat some food and whatever. I hope you liked this video. I hope you loved listening to my traumas, but we're just gonna leave it like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.